Is losing your lead singer always the end of the road? Not necessarily. Hold on to your seat, because these famous bands actually leveled up after their original frontperson left. It's shocking, and here's where longtime fans often argue. Can a band really thrive without the unforgettable voice that started it all? Let's unravel 5 groundbreaking stories where new vocalists sparked a tidal wave of commercial success, sometimes in ways no one saw coming. Jefferson Airplane. Here's a twist. Marty Balin, the primary singer on Jefferson Airplane's first album, didn't technically quit. But the spotlight shifted dramatically when Grace Slick arrived on the scene. Originally, Slick replaced Signe Anderson, who sang a few tunes but left to focus on family. Grace wasn't just another vocalist. She brought in songs like White Rabbit and Somebody to Love from her previous band, The Great Society. These tracks exploded in popularity on Surrealistic Pillow, 1967, proving that a change at the microphone can absolutely redefine a group's legacy. And this is the part most people miss. The classic Jefferson Airplane sound many remember actually comes from Slick's powerful vocals, not the original lineup. Pink Floyd's Syd Barrett was more than just Pink Floyd's first lead singer. He was their guiding creative force at the start. But after releasing The Piper at the Gates of Dawn, 1967, Barrett's declining mental health forced the band to let him go. With David Gilmour stepping up alongside Roger Waters and Rick Wright, Pink Floyd transformed both musically and in terms of their vocals. By the time they released Dark Side of the Moon in 1973, a true blockbuster, the band's identity had shifted almost completely from its Barrett-led days. Some fans debate, was this reinvention a loss or an evolution? Either way, the numbers don't lie. They hit their commercial peak only after Barrett's departure. Steely Dan, think all lead singers are natural performers? Here's a surprise. Donald Fagen, who co-founded Steely Dan with Walter Becker, was initially uncomfortable singing in front of crowds. That's why David Palmer was brought in for their debut Can't Buy a Thrill, even taking the lead on favourites like Dirty Work. But Palmer moved on, and Fagen eventually took the reins, guiding the band through increasingly sophisticated and successful albums. The shift proved crucial. Fans fell in love with Fagen's distinctive, subtly sarcastic delivery. Could Steely Dan have found their signature sound with anyone else? The debate continues. Journey Journey was gradually gaining momentum in the 1970s, but big radio singles still eluded them. Greg Rowley, their original vocalist, mostly sang from behind his keyboard, which limited their stage energy. Enter Steve Perry, whose soaring voice and energetic presence fundamentally changed the game. Perry didn't just add range. His songwriting helped guide Journey toward catchy mainstream hits. Before long, fans everywhere were belting out their tunes, and Journey's transformation was complete. Rowley moved on in 1980 after the Departure album, but the band's real ascent began with Perry at center stage. Genesis, now here's where things get truly divisive. Genesis's future looked uncertain when Peter Gabriel, their magnetic and innovative frontman, left in 1975. Many critics and industry insiders doubted the band could recover from losing Gabriel's theatrical presence. But then came the legendary twist. Drummer Phil Collins stepped forward, first reluctantly, then with surprising charm. Genesis evolved from dizzyingly complex progressive rock to irresistible pop, shrinking to a trio in the process. The result? They became one of the most commercially successful bands ever. Still, some fans remain fiercely loyal to the Gabriel era, sparking fierce debates about which version of Genesis reigns supreme. What does all this tell us? Sometimes losing a lead singer is the shake-up a band never knew it needed. But here's my question for you. When your favourite group switches vocalists, does it feel like a betrayal? Or do you embrace the evolution? Which singer should have stayed? and which replacement was an undeniable upgrade? Let's hear your takes below. Agree or disagree? Your voice matters in this ongoing musical debate.